There is something very confusing that happens to people who have lived through a lot of chaos. When life finally slows down, when there are no arguments for a while, when the house is quiet, when nothing urgent is happening, instead of feeling peaceful, you feel uneasy. Your mind starts looking around for the next problem. You may even feel like something bad must be about to happen, and that can be confusing because people talk about peace like it is supposed to feel wonderful. They say things like, just relax, enjoy the quiet, be grateful things are calm. But if your life has been full of stress, tension, or emotional storms for a long time, calm can feel unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things can make the mind uneasy. So today, I want to talk about something many people experience, but very few people talk about openly. Why peace could sometimes feel wrong. Why calm can feel uncomfortable. And why this does not mean that there is anything broken about you. Sometimes it simply means your mind spent a long time learning how to survive, and now it has to learn something new. It has to learn how to rest. The human brain is designed to keep us safe. It constantly scans the environment for potential danger. When life is stable and predictable, the brain relaxes. But when someone lives through repeated stress, conflict, or uncertainty, the brain begins to adapt. If arguments happen often, if emotions in the household are unpredictable, if you are constantly trying to prevent problems, the brain learns something important. It learns that danger could appear at any moment. So it begins preparing. Your nervous system stays alert. Your thoughts begin scanning for possible problems. Your body learns to live with constant tension. Over time, this state of alertness becomes normal. The mind becomes used to adrenaline. It becomes used to problem solving. It becomes used to preparing for what might go wrong. And when something becomes normal long enough, the brain begins to believe that is simply how life works. Let me describe a moment that many people recognize. Maybe the house is finally quiet. Everyone has gone to bed. The television is off. The dishes are done. For the first time all day, there is nothing demanding your attention. You sit down, maybe with a cup of coffee or tea, and for a moment, everything is calm. But instead of relaxing, your mind starts scanning. You start thinking about something that could go wrong tomorrow, something you forgot to do, something someone might say, something that could become a problem later. Before you realize it, the quiet moment disappears. Not because anything actually happened, but because your mind started preparing for danger again. That is what survival mode looks like. The mind keeps searching for storms even when the sky is clear. When the brain spends years operating in survival mode, calm can feel unfamiliar, and unfamiliar experiences can feel unsafe. The brain begins asking questions like, why is everything quiet? Is something about to happen? What am I missing? Sometimes people even feel restless during peaceful moments. They feel like something needs to be fixed, like they should be preparing for something. That restlessness is not weakness. It is conditioning. Your nervous system became used to being busy protecting you. So, when there is nothing to protect against, it feels strange, like a security guard standing watch in an empty building. The danger is gone, but the guard is still walking the halls. Imagine this. You have a surprisingly good day. No arguments, no unexpected problems, nothing dramatic happens. You get through the day peacefully. But later that evening, instead of simply enjoying the calm, your mind starts asking questions. How long will this last? What if something goes wrong tomorrow? Maybe I should prepare just in case. That quiet anxiety can sneak into good moments, not because you want to worry, but because your brain learned that good moments sometimes ended suddenly. So it prepares for the next change, even when the change never comes. When someone lives through repeated stress, they often develop a habit of anticipating problems. The mind begins expecting the next storm before it arrives. This can create a feeling of constant vigilance. Even during peaceful moments, part of the brain stays on alert. It watches. It listens. It prepares. Some people describe this as feeling like they can never fully relax, like their mind is always standing by. This habit once helped you survive difficult seasons, but when life becomes calmer, that same habit can make peace feel unfamiliar. The mind keeps waiting for something that is no longer happening. Another place this can appear is in relationships. Imagine a relationship that has become calm. There are no arguments. Conversations feel stable. Things are going well. But inside your mind, a small voice starts asking questions. When will the next argument happen? Is something wrong that I'm not seeing? Maybe I should prepare. Even when things are good, the brain is preparing for conflict because it learned that peace used to be temporary. This does not mean you want problems. It simply means your mind has not yet learned to trust peace. The beautiful thing about the brain is that it can learn new patterns. Just as it learned survival mode, it can learn safety. But this process takes time. Your nervous system needs repeated experiences of calm moments where nothing goes wrong, moments where peace is allowed to exist. Little by little, the brain begins noticing something new. The storms are not coming as often. The calm is lasting longer, and slowly the nervous system begins to relax. It begins to trust that quiet moments are not a trap. They are simply peace. There is something beautiful about the idea of rest. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not weakness. Rest is a return to safety. Sometimes the hardest thing for a person who has lived through chaos is allowing themselves to experience calm without questioning it. Allowing themselves to sit in quiet moments without preparing for danger. Allowing their mind to believe that peace is real. If peace has ever felt uncomfortable to you, you are not strange. You are not broken. Your mind simply adapted to survive difficult seasons. But survival mode does not have to last forever. Little by little, your mind can learn something new. It can learn that calm is not danger. Quiet is not a warning. Peace is not a trap. Peace is where your mind was always meant to rest. And sometimes healing begins with a very small step. Allowing one peaceful moment to exist without questioning it.